First of all, hello. Yes, I'm sorry. It's been like a month or so. I meant to post more, but I kind of got caught up in something else. And like, I'm gonna keep posting on this channel, I promise. And it may be more like this, where I'm just talking to the camera and we're just talking about nonsense. Well, not nonsense, but like, we're just talking about stuff face to face and not through video form, if that makes sense. But recently I've been feeling a lot of like fear, which I think is common for a lot of college students. Fear in the future, fear in my abilities, fear in my future and abilities specifically. And I don't know, I just want to talk and get it out, and so I don't feel so like alone almost. Like, I'm scared I won't be successful, but like, I know I can be. I just feel like I string myself over 14 different things and I'm never actually keen to one and working on one. But man, those 14 things that I do, I go through a phase where I do one great and then another great and then a third great and then a fourth great, and by the fifth one I'm doing them pretty good, right? But I'm not focusing on like going farther with it. So I feel like I'm farther behind. I feel like I'm wasting my time, in a sense of, some people, they're like, I want to be a veterinarian. I'm 5 and I want to be a veterinarian. And by the time they're 45, they've been a vet for 20-ish years, 15-ish years, depending on how long it takes them to go through vet school and all that. But me, it's like, I know what I want to be, but I can't be like, hey, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to make YouTube videos. Okay, yeah, but what do you want to actually do for your living, right? Like, that's not something you can't just be like. J.K. Rowling could not have just been like, hey, I want to write. Somebody would have been like, sure you do. But what about, are we thinking like secretary, or are we thinking like business lady, or like, your dream doesn't become something you can actually do until you do it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just feel like I'm not, like, I get close. Maybe one day when I die and go to heaven, God will sit me down and be like, look, this is where you almost started a full-time career doing this, and this is where you almost started a full-time career doing this. And I'll sit there and I'll be like, wow, I was really close a couple of times, but I don't know, for whatever reason, got scared or felt like I couldn't go through with it, or I just got bored with it, maybe. I don't know. But a couple times it feels like that, and I push myself back to the point where I'm not getting anywhere. And I felt very overwhelmed lately because I've taken on a couple more things than maybe I should have, but I enjoy doing them. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the best way to go about all this while still focusing on myself some and the people I love around me, and not just being like, well, if I can make this video and this video, and I could do these people's social medias, and I could start a website for this guy, and like, I want to be successful, but I also want a family. I also want a relationship with people around me. I'm sure $1 million would do wonders. But I want to, like, take people on vacation with me, right? I don't want it to be me. Because $1 million is amazing. Allegedly. I don't know that. But $1 million is awesome. But $1 million with friends would be even better. So I'm in this, like, fine line of, can I, or do I have what it takes to create relationships while also being successful, in the sense of having more money in the bank than just what pays the bills that week. Maybe having a community that knows who I am. Like, oh my gosh, this guy, he's really good. We really like him. And I'm not saying I want to be Mr. Beast. By no means do I want to be like a Mr. Beast where it's like 40 billion people know who I am. No, I don't care if it's like 500, 1,000, or 100, or just somebody, like, just like a little. But like, when somebody sees me, I want them to be like, wow, that guy was a really good writer. Wow, that guy was a really good, he spoke really well. Wow, that guy made okay YouTube videos. I have so many fields where, like, I'm not saying I don't have what it takes to be successful. Because I think I do. I think I have great ideas, right? My buddy and I were writing like this TV show. I think this would save Netflix, okay? This would save HBO Max. This would save any platform it went on. I genuinely believe it would be great. It would be a top performer. And you can watch this video, and in 5 years, if the show ever got picked up, you could go back to it, you could see it, and you could see our vision. Maybe it wasn't executed to how we wanted it, but you could see where we started in our vision with it. I have this story in my brain, and I swear to you, if I ever write it, if I could ever get through it, it would be like, if you ever read it, you would be like, wow, that was actually really good world building. That was actually really good character development. Like, I know I can do these things, but it's just like I push myself away before I get too close to doing them. I think that's my biggest problem. I think I see what I can do. I see maybe a path that will lead there, and maybe something jumps out at me and I'm like, oh, that's scary, I don't want to do that. Maybe something jumps out at me and I'm like, that may be too hard. Let me just not waste my time. But I am finding recently I do want to waste my time on stuff like that. Maybe I do want to like try that kind of stuff. Maybe I do want to push myself to the edge, right? Because I don't want vacation to be Myrtle Beach, which is like 2 hours from my house. That's a great vacation, but I want to go to Italy, right? I went to Italy when I was a kid. Beautiful place. I went to UK. I went to Montana. I went to Wyoming. All these beautiful places. I don't want to be like, well, those were pretty, I'll just have to tell my kids about it. No, I want to be able to show my kids. And I'm not saying like I have to be a billionaire to do that. I have to be a millionaire to do that. I have to be just so rich and successful to do that. But I think just for myself, like selfishly, yes, this is selfish, but I do want to be successful. I want to have money in the bank to spend on my kids, to be able to go vacation with them. Maybe they're in college, they want to go backpack for a summer instead of working a job. Okay, cool. I'll send you with money to go backpack around Europe. That's what I want to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just want to, like, I genuinely believe I will be successful, but there's always something in the back of my mind that's like, maybe you won't be. Maybe you won't be. No, I know I will, but like, maybe you won't be. What happens if nothing goes to plan? And it's like, yeah, I'll just figure out a new plan. But it's also like, what if that new plan doesn't end up working? I don't know. I don't know if that made any sense. I don't even know like how this video is going to come out, if it'll be good quality or whatever.